Siser's DTV, what is it and does it really work? Today, we're going to put it to the test live. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And if you guys are catching this on the replay, hello. Let me know where you guys are from, where are you guys crafting from, and what are you making today? Has anybody tested out the Siser DTV? It is currently in stock right now on 143. We do have that link down below for you guys. So if you guys haven't had a chance to snag it, it is there. All right, so like I said, today we are playing around with the new Siser DTV, which is direct to vinyl. It is a printable vinyl, and so let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so let's start off with a giveaway, right? Let's just start it right out the gate. Let's go ahead and do a fun one. We're going to do 15 plus credits. So you're going to have a chance to win 15 plus credits by using the hashtag boo. So in the comments below, all you have to do is use hashtag boo for a chance to win. So let's go. All right, so let's go ahead and jump over to, while you guys are just now joining, I want to show you guys right away the bundle that I'm actually using today, and it is the Halloween craft bundle. So we have actually done a few different videos out of this. If you guys have not checked those out, you guys definitely have to. There is a lot of good stuff in this bundle this month. It's only $19.99 with a over $240 value. So you guys don't want to miss this one. It is really, really good. So today I thought that we would take some of those PNG images that you normally would sublimate with, and we would do some print and cut, and all along also we are going to do some fussy cutting too, just to show you you don't have to actually have a die cutting machine to accomplish being able to use this Siser DTV. Once again, as you guys are coming in, hello, thank you guys so much for joining. So one of the designs that I'm actually using today out of this bundle is this one right here, October Girl. You guys raise your hand, give me a heart below, give me a thumbs up if you guys are an October girl. Are you guys a huge fan of October, fall, Halloween, all of the things? My birthday's in October, so I believe I get to really just amp it up over there. So I've got birthday, fall, and Halloween all thrown into one, and I just absolutely love it. So this right here, I feel is for me. This is for me. So I'm using this design here, and as you can see, you can still throw this on a coffee mug and all of the things, but today we're going to be testing it out with that Siser DTV. So let me go ahead and back it up here, and I'm going to show you a couple other ones. I want to give you some ideas. So this little bundle right here is actually a sticker bundle. So I'm going to be using this one today. And this is going to be absolutely perfect for this product, because one of the recommendations you guys are going to hear me talk about later today is adding an offset to get the perfect cut. And with the stickers, you don't have to just think about stickers. These are perfect too for print and cut or sublimation and things like that. So for example, if you were to use these with sublimation, there is no white ink, so it's not actually even going to print the white. It's going to print the design. So in case you guys have not thought of that, definitely think outside of the box and check out our sticker bundles too. So we're going to be using one of these as well. And then I do believe we've got one more. So let me go ahead and find it really quick. So I'm going to be using this really fun bundle right here. And I've actually even used one of these already. I'm going to kind of scroll through here and see if I can't find the one right here. So I actually have already even used this one right here that says Monster Squad. You guys will be seeing that very soon. I love these designs. The colors of these are phenomenal. And so with this new product, the Siser DTV, the color on it is so bright and bold. It's gorgeous. And so these colors are perfect for something like this, sublimation, all of the things, Siser Easy Subli, because they pop so good. So the one that I'm actually using out of this bundle today is going to be the Spooky Squad, and I'm actually going to do a fussy cut on that one. So like I said, that's what we're using today. We're going to be using this really fun bundle. So make sure you guys definitely check it out, because our bundles are a limited time. We only release them for a certain amount of time, so you have to snag them. After that, everything goes back to full price. So don't miss out on that. Now, speaking of saving you guys some cash, I'll go ahead and drop this screen down really quick. I want to tell you guys something super amazing today. So you guys can actually join. If you guys are watching me over on YouTube, give me 2 seconds. I'm going to try to drop this screen really quick. There we go. Perfect. So If you guys don't know, we actually now have a membership for our YouTube. So if you guys are watching me on YouTube right now, take a look down below where it says subscribe and that notification bell. You're going to notice now where it says join. So if you click that, you can actually join for $1.99 a month. What you're going to get is some really fun stickers. I'll see if somebody down below, Dawn, we may have somebody down below with those really fun stickers so you guys can see what they are. So when you guys are commenting, you guys can play around with these really fun stickers that only you have access to. Now, besides the really fun stickers for $1.99, you get 10% off of designbundles.net. So you're going to save 10% off over there. You can purchase whatever you want with 10% off. So that's a huge deal in itself. So if you guys want to save even further on this bundle, definitely snag our membership over here on YouTube for $1.99 a month to save that 10%. It's going to pay for itself. Plus you get the really fun stickers. I wanted to mention that today because that's something that we've actually been working really hard on in the background, and we have more stickers and fun stuff to come. So we're going to have some exclusive stuff for you guys, all of the things. So make sure you guys definitely check it out and stay tuned for all the goodies. All right, so outside of that, let's go over what I'm using. So today I'm using what's called Siser DTV. If you guys are familiar with printable inkjet vinyl, every time I feel like we go live, my sawgrass wants to clean itself. So she just wants to make her own appearance, right? So you have printable inkjet vinyl, printable inkjet, the heat transfer vinyl, and things like that. There's been several of them on the market, but they've not been absolutely perfect. Sometimes they start to peel after a wash or two. Sometimes the color fades out as soon as you wash it. Well, Siser has knocked it out of the park with this one. So what this allows you to do is use your inkjet printer. So if you're familiar with Siser EasyColor for your sublimation printer, now you can do that with your inkjet printers and it looks gorgeous. The colors, you're going to see it here in a minute. So you guys have probably been checking it out because this is trending all over the place and everybody's creating content around it right now. But this is gorgeous. It's awesome. Now, there is a few things that you got to play around with and tweak because it's not 100% perfect with the cut settings, but I'm going to show you guys a hack around that today. So I've got everything linked down below so you can purchase these sheets individual. They are Siser direct to vinyl. And the way to tell which one you want to print on the white side. So if you fold it over, you guys will see like a green tinge. I'm going to drop y'all down to see if y'all can see that a little better. You guys can hopefully see that it's off. It looks off white right here. You want to print on that white side. So depending on your printer, so for mine loads in the back. I'm going to load it in here with the white facing out like this. So if it was inside, I would put the white down because my printer would pull it this way. All right. So if it has a drawer face down, if it has the top face up, okay, so we have the white in there just like that. Now, the other product that they're selling to go along with it is a carrier sheet. So if you guys are going to be cutting any sort of intricate or small pieces, and it's not going to be one solid piece, you're going to want a carrier sheet. It's the same thing that is on top of your heat transfer vinyl, that clear, adhesive vinyl. Now, you can use these over and over and over again, so definitely keep that backing and reuse it, all right? So we've got that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and share my Cricut Design Space so I can show you guys. Just a second. Let's see. Share screen. Make sure you guys are using that hashtag BOO for a chance to win 15 plus credits, which we will add to your account today. All right, so jumping on over here to Cricut Design Space, I've already brought my design in. Now this is that sticker bundle. So this is the absolute perfect designs that you want to use because it already has that offset feature. But I'm going to show you guys how you can actually add that offset feature as well. So around this, and the way to tell, I'm actually going to change the background so you guys can see. So the very background here, you're going to click where it says blank canvas. We're going to come up here to our color and I'm going to change it to black just so you guys can see. And that's exactly what I'm putting it on today is a black tote bag. So what that's going to allow me to do is be able to visually see, and then I can get rid of those lines. So this is what it would look like on my black tote bag. So now you guys can see that offset. So when this goes to cut, it's going to perfectly cut around that offset and not try to get super intricate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to 9.25. Oh, let me go back 1 second. You got to hit the lock button. So the one thing that Cricut has done is they make it when you bring in a design like this, they've made it to where you have to hit that lock button right away. So when you bring in your design, make sure you guys come up there to the top. Give me just a second for this little guy to load. let's see here. Let's see, I may have to force, let's see, hold on, view. Oh, let me see. Maybe if I click here, it's still wanting to like, there we go. Perfect. It was still wanting to change my colors. All right. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to lock it this time. Make sure you lock it. And then we're going to change our width. So 9.25. So it can only do 6.75 by 9.25 for a print and cut. And so what I always do is I find which one is the biggest one and I go from there and I do the 9.25 right away. That's how I just kind of start out there. So now you guys can kind of see what that's going to look like. It's sized out. It's ready to go. Like I said, this has an offset, so it's not going to cut any sort of intricate pieces. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to hit make it. It's going to, we got to print and cut. So you can see that we've got that black border around it. If you guys are new to Cricut print and cut, and then we're going to go ahead and hit continue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hit send to printer. I'm going to turn off the bleed line. I usually just leave mine off. I've got my printer ready to go. We're going to hit print. So we're going to do that right now. And for the settings for this, all you need to choose is everyday iron on. So I've tried it several different ways. At the beginning, I was trying everyday iron on and I was coming to pressure and I was changing it to less. And you don't need to do that. You can just leave it as normal and it's going to be good to go. Now, I will say this is where the tricky part comes in. When you go to do these print and cuts, if you have any sort of small pieces, for example, this design right here has some separate bats here. So if I didn't do this offset all the way around, it would cut around those bats. And that's where it gets tricky. For some weird reason, this stuff is almost like a rubberized texture. It's definitely very stretchy. So it's very different than iron-on, if you will, or heat transfer vinyl. And so it's a little bit harder for it to cut through. So when it comes to small little pieces like those lines and all that, it struggles and it really will just gum it up and cut it up. And trust me, I've played with it more than enough. But the way to fix that, the solution is to do an offset. So next thing that we want to do is take our mat. Now, I'm going to drop y'all down below and you guys show me your hands, right? So do you guys try to automatically load your print and cuts like this? I do it every single time. You have to pay attention to the screen over on Design Bundles, over on Cricut Design Space. And then you have to make sure that you're lining it up in that correct direction. So I'm going to go ahead and smooth this out just like so. All right. Now I've heard and I've seen to where they say to make sure and let it dry down and all of those kind of things. But honestly, it dries pretty fast. I'm not too, I've tried to let it sit and I don't see any difference with the cut settings. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and load this guy in here. And I'm hoping it's just going to cut all the way around because one thing that you always have to pay attention to with your stickers is that I'm making sure it is in the correct way, is that you have hit flatten. So if you're ever going to create your very own offset, which I'm going to show y'all here in a second, make sure that you hit that flatten. All right, so here we go. So we're going to go ahead and hit go, and it's going to just cut all the way around that offset. Now, the reason why I'm going into detail today is I have obviously played around with this quite a bit. We've got a few more videos coming with it, but I've played around with it enough that I have wasted several sheets because this is around $2 and something, let's say almost $3 a sheet. So you definitely want to maybe learn a little bit more about it before you just jump in because you don't want to waste any product. So I will say, hands down, it feels amazing. It washes phenomenal. It just looks gorgeous. The colors pop off of it and all of the things. It's everything we've ever dreamed of whenever it comes to printable heat transfer vinyl. But like I said, it is a little finicky whenever it comes to the small intricate. If it's a big design like this, there's no big problem. So now let's go ahead. It read our little cut lines and now it's going to go ahead and just go all the way around that offset. So it just makes it super duper easy. So as you can see, I've already done one right here. We're going to let this guy finish up and then we're going to go ahead and start making these guys. So let's go ahead and announce our very first giveaway. So let's go ahead and get that pulled up really quick. And let's go ahead and announce our first one. Here we go. Are we ready? Dun, 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 dun. We're going to get it. Good luck to everybody. I just absolutely love doing these giveaways and being able to give you guys some free stuff. So here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Congratulations, Lucille. Am I saying that right? Lucille, congratulations. Thank you so much for watching us here on YouTube. All you have to do is reach out to mel@designbundles.net. Let them know that you are the lucky winner of the plus credits, and they will add those to your account today so you can start crafting with those plus credits right away. And you do not have to be a plus member to be able to grab those. All right, perfect. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to unload this, all right? And then we're going to flip it over. And then before we start weeding everything out, let's go ahead and announce our second giveaway. All right. So for our second one, we're going to give away 3 months of the Gold Plus membership. It is perfect, right? It is the holiday season and you guys need to be able to play around with our Gold Plus membership because if you haven't already subscribed, you're missing out, right? So we're going to give away 3 months free of our gold. And all you have to do is use hashtag pumpkin this time. So hashtag pumpkin will enter you to win, even if you were in the last one, use that hashtag pumpkin down below. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop you guys down below and let's go ahead and weed these out. So like I said, I just went through and we have that offset. Like I said, this is one of our sticker bundles. And so now we're gonna go through here and you can see with a big design, there's absolutely no issues whatsoever. But once again, if you guys have any sort of small stuff like this would be separate, it would gum it up for some weird reason. So always add that offset. And once again, I'll show y'all here in just a bit how to do that. All right, so we're going to weed out our next one. All right, so I'd already done the same thing. So this is one that was, I added an offset too. So yes, we have the white now. So instead of it cutting around, but I'm putting it on a white t-shirt. So you're not really gonna notice it anyway. So that's completely fine with me. But if it's something that you don't want, you can definitely let it cut out those little pieces here. But like I said, be mindful that it does struggle a little bit with those small pieces. So that's me adding an offset. Now, another option here is you could use your silhouette. I've heard there is more success with the silhouette because there's a difference with the angle of the blades. And then so you could definitely do that, or you can fussy cut. So if you want to use our designs, you don't have a die cutting machine, all you need is an inkjet printer, print it out and take a pair of scissors and simply fussy cut. Now, once again, I am putting this on a white t-shirt, so it's going to just blend in there like butter. So we're just going to go ahead and fussy cut around. Now, what I love about these, and it makes it so perfect, is say, for example, you need to make some last minute birthday shirts, but you don't have time to fuss around with weeding out a whole bunch of heat transfer vinyl or any of that kind of stuff. You don't have a sublimation printer. You can definitely just get your inkjet printer out and print out some stuff. Definitely check out our site. We got lots of stuff. You can simply type in, you know, birthday shirts or whatever, and then you can quickly make mom and dad, kiddos, t-shirts so fast. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just fussy cut around this guy just like so. There we have it. And like I said, this white's gonna blend in with my t-shirt. So you don't have to have a die cutting machine to make this success. All right, so a few more things about this really cool product is if you use a Teflon sheet like this, so I don't have one, I only have my pressing pillow here today, but I'm gonna try it with my pressing pillow. If you use a Teflon sheet like this, it will actually turn it glossy. So it'll give you a glossy look. And if you use a piece of parchment paper like this, it will give you a matte look. So we're gonna try to play around with that today too and see what we can come up with. But let me go ahead and swap out my machines really quick. All right, so just quickly switching these guys out. Now, while this is heating up, so the temperature that you want is, I believe it's 310 for 15 seconds. So the really cool thing is too, it doesn't take that much heat or time. It's a super quick go, 310 for 15 seconds. I'm using my bigger Cricut Easy Press today, so you can see I'm accomplishing it with this. You could definitely use a bigger heat press if you wanted to. So we've got that. So while we do that, let me bring up my screen one more time. Now, here's that QR code up at the top. If you guys ever see that, you can scan that with your phone and it's going to take you directly to the bundle. All right, here we go. I see those hashtag pumpkins coming in. Let me pull up on my screen one more time. I'm going to hit done here really fast. And I'm going to go ahead and hit new and replace. So I want to show you guys just really fast about adding an offset. Now, I will tell you right before we went live, you know, the offset feature is still in beta mode, so it wasn't wanting to, it was kind of being finicky. So here we go. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit upload and I'm gonna bring in my design. So these are the ones I brought in. I'm gonna show you this girl right here. So we're gonna add it to the canvas and I wanna show you how much is, let me go ahead and size it down really fast. Let's do it first. We're gonna hit that lock button, all right? Hit that lock button and I'm gonna change my height. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in 9.25. Enter. Let's see here. I think I did it 39, 9.25, enter. There we go. So you guys can see that you can hopefully see that we can see through the background there. Let me go and do this. I'm going to change that color to blue, just so hopefully you guys can see that a little better. There we go. So you can see that if the Cricut went to cut this, it's going to cut between her hairlines here. It's going to cut around her face here, her glasses, all of these wording pieces. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a hot diggity dog mess. Okay. I've done it. I've played with this quite a bit. So what I like to do is the offset feature. So as long as your offset feature is working, you'll be able to come up here to offset and you can change that. And so, for example, I'm going to go ahead and do 0.75. And once again, hopefully it'll pop up, because right before we went live, it worked for me at first enough to accomplish it, and then it wasn't working anymore. But that's what you would do. And you would just play around with it until that offset gets big enough. Like I said, there we go. I can see it happening. So you can see I've got a little piece here or whatever. So you can just add in some more offset. But say I was happy with it like this. Now you can see that there. So when you create your offset, you want to come hit your offset layer here, change it to white, and then we want to select both of those pieces, right? And you want to come to flatten. So that's where flatten comes important. So if you guys are new to Cricut and Cricut Design Space and you always wonder, what is this flatten? When you're working with your print and cut stuff, that's when it comes helpful, right? So you're going to hit flatten and it's going to become one design. So what's going to happen is it's going to just cut around all of these pieces like so. It's going to cut out this little piece, but if I wanted that to go away, I would continue to add more offset and that would take that away. But now, instead of it trying to cut all these little pieces, you're going to have it as one. So if you guys are working with the Siser DTV and you guys are struggling at all with those little pieces, remember that white is going to blend into that white t-shirt. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the screen back down, and we are going to get ready to press these because our press is ready to go. All right, so let's start off with, let's do a t-shirt, then we'll do a tote bag, and we'll come back and we'll do a t-shirt. All right, so let's see here. We're going to start off with our bigger t-shirt here. All right. Now, I don't need the carrier sheets because I don't have any small intricate pieces, which is going to save me money because I don't have to purchase the extras. So we're going to go ahead and and in the meantime, let me get these guys out of our way here. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining us. We absolutely love when you guys come to hang out. And we're going to do Q&A later. So if you guys have any questions along the way, I can answer those in just a bit. All right, here we go. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our Cricut Easy Press and I'm going to pull out the moisture just as we normally would. So you want to go ahead and press your t-shirt and just remove any sort of wrinkles and any sort of moisture. Now, the really cool thing about this product is you can use this on 100% cotton. So where sublimation, you know, you have to have polyester and all that. You can use the 100%, you can use the 100% and you can use it on color. So I'm going to be showing you that on a black bag today. Now, the next thing is we want to let it cool down just a bit because once you start trying to put that on there, it's going to start to stick. So I'm going to drop you guys back down really quick and we're going to go ahead and get this. So what you're going to do is we're going to just get us a little corner. Be very careful because this stuff is pretty delicate. So we're going to go ahead and just carefully peel this off like so. So now, like I said, I just kind of let it cool down a little bit. I'm going to figure out about where I want this to go. So something about like this looks good to me. Now I'm going to, let's see if this will cover this. I'm going to attempt to do the glossy on this first, and then we're going to change it to matte. So if you have a Teflon, you don't need a pressing pillow, but like I said, it's covered in a Teflon. So that's why we're using it. So I'm going to just come down around 4 fingers or so. You guys can see that. You want to cover it with, you know, something, whether it's a parchment paper or a Teflon. And so I'm going to go ahead and cover this guy up like so. I'm going to go ahead and just put a parchment on top of this. And now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to press it like this. Try to get some nice even pressure. And here we go. So this is us attempting to get the glossy look. So I'm going to press it that 310 for 15 seconds. Sorry, 310 for 15 seconds. Once again, you don't need to do all this. This is me just attempting to try to get that glossy look. All right. So we're going to lift this guy up. Carefully lift. Whoop. And that did not heat all the way through, so we're not going to be able to accomplish that. Well, No, I'm not going to try it again. It didn't go all the way through, so we're just going to go back to the parchment and come back on top because you're going to want the thin layer, which makes sense. So we're going to go ahead and do it again, 310 for 15 seconds. So I will definitely grab a Teflon sheet next time and we'll be able to pull off that gloss. But you do get 2 looks. And if you get the gloss and you don't like it, go back on top with a parchment and it will turn it matte. So you get 2 options, okay? So then we're going to go ahead and peel. And look at that. Those colors are absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up here so you guys can hopefully see it a little bit better. But see how that white just pretty much blends into the t-shirt? So you don't have to worry about that offset. And I was able to save everything. I didn't have to worry about all the tiny intricate pieces of this or the bats or the name or anything like that. But those colors pop off of here so, so nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys up here really quick just so you guys can kind of get the feel and the vibes of that. But so easy. Such a great way to be able to use your inkjet printer, your print and cut with your Cricut, and accomplish a really fast t-shirt and get that sublimation look. So like, for example, this printer right here, I grabbed it from Walmart. I do believe I linked it down below for y'all, and it's like 50 bucks. So for $50, I can create some sublimation design. So there you guys have it. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Make sure you guys are using that hashtag pumpkin because we are going to be drawing somebody here pretty soon. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to our next one. We're going to go ahead and do a tote bag. So this is going to be able to show you guys that you can use color. You can use pink, you can use blue, you can use whatever you want, but I'm going to show you on something black here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just smooth this out. Let's go ahead and take our lint roller and we're just going to go ahead and lint roll first, just to remove any sort of debris and all of that. And then we're going to do the same thing, get that moisture out for around 5 seconds or so. And in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and drop you guys back down so that way you guys can see everything. Hashtag pumpkin. I see those rolling in. So that hashtag pumpkin is going to get you a chance to win the 3 months Gold Plus membership, y'all. 3 months. All right, so here we go. So for this one, I'm going to let that cool down. Once again, if you go right on top of this, you're going to start to activate the adhesive on the back. So you have to peel it off of this. This is just a carrier sheet. And then we're going to go ahead and just get us a corner here and carefully peel it up. I love these colors too of these designs. They're just gorgeous. So this is a perfect way to make a quick trick-or-treat bag for your kiddos. These tote bags, I usually grab these at the craft store for $2. Sometimes you can even find them at the Dollar Tree. All right, so here we go. So I think somewhere right about there, it looks good because this is going to be the bottom of my bag. I think that looks great. So we're going to go right on top. Same piece of parchment there. And we're going to do the same thing, 310 for 15 seconds. So once again, that temp is lower, the time is lower. I just absolutely love it. I love being able to use my print and cut feature. And sometimes I know it really feels like you don't have a lot of room to work with, but as you can see with that adult t-shirt, I did that adult t-shirt and the size is great. You can see that I'm doing a tote bag here and the size is great. So once again, once you press, those colors are going to activate and become even darker. So you can see they're a little bit dull here. They're going to activate and get even brighter when you go to press it. But look at how fun that is. So, so cute. It just looks like it's glowing in the dark. It's gorgeous. I really love the way that this pops off of that black. So this is just going to show you guys that you can use the colors, like I said, because we tried that a while back. So you know that we did that we did the sublimation hack with the direct to film, and we tried to do it on a black tote bag and it did not work, but you can definitely pull it off with this. So I really love it. This is great. It's going to be fun for the kiddos. And once again, what a great way to get out that last minute tote bag, something you can sell in your shop, or like I said, make for the kiddos. And you can have the kiddos help you. So the kiddos can go through the whole process and press and make their very own bag this holiday season. So super duper cute. And once again, this is a sticker file. So this is one of our sticker files. All right, so here we go. So we're gonna move on to our very last one here. So I think we're going to, let me start working on this one and then we'll announce our giveaway. And don't forget, we are doing Q&A. So you guys, if you have any questions, make sure you guys are definitely putting those down below. All right, so if we are ready for the giveaway, let's go ahead. Let's just go ahead and do it. So I think it would be fun to go ahead and do it and get our the rest of our stuff rolling. So let's go. So we're going to pull this up. Here we go. So we used hashtag pumpkin. Dun, 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 dun. Good luck to everybody. Thank you guys so much for participating. I'm so excited for you guys. 3 months, y'all. 3 months of that Gold Plus membership. Yay! Chosen by Erica. Congratulations. Thank you so much for watching us here on YouTube. All you need to do is reach out to mail@designbundles.net. Let them know that you are the lucky winner of the 3 months plus gold membership. And you can start using that today. And you can use it this month for that dollar event to save that extra 15%. So y'all don't forget, our dollar event is coming up very soon. And with our Gold Plus membership, you guys save 15%. All right, so here we go. We're going to get our last one. Now this one I am going to use a pressing pillow because I'm using a youth t-shirt. I'm going to put it in this direction here. I'm going to take my little youth t-shirt here. So this is just creating a fun little Halloween t-shirt for a kiddo. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this down. And what we're going to do, I'm going to scoot it down just a bit. So I've got a pressing pillow just to help me remove any sort of anything that's going to get in our way. I don't know why I can't say what you're sewing. Why do I want to say seam allowance? That's what's happening to me as a sewist. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to press this down 310 for 15 seconds. Congratulations. Yes, congratulations, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Now, for our third giveaway, all you have to do is use the hashtag Halloween. So hashtag Halloween is going to give you a chance to win this entire bundle. So one lucky winner can win this entire Halloween bundle that we are crafting with today, the whole thing. So use hashtag Halloween and we will draw a winner here in just a bit. All right, so here we go. So what we're going to do is, since I fussy cut it around this, I still have my backing. So I'll have to kind of just bend over just a little bit and peel. So it was no big deal to get that to remove off of there. Here we go. You are so welcome. Congratulations. All right, here we go. So I think what I'm going to do is I need to move my pressing pillow back up just a bit. I went way too far down. There we go. Once again, use that hashtag Halloween for a chance to win this entire Halloween bundle. You guys don't want to miss this Halloween bundle. It is one of my favorites. I can't stop crafting with it. I want to make all of the things for you guys, and they keep saying, hey, Crystal, we have other bundles we have to work with. And I'm like, but y'all don't understand. I'm obsessed. All right, so I've got my design here. Look how cute this youth t-shirt's going to be. And we didn't even use a Cricut. We did this by hand. All right, so we're going to press again. 310 for 15 seconds. Now, the reason why I have that pressing pillow once again is because I'm avoiding those seams. And I'm actually going to bring us back up here for this reveal. So 310, I've got 3 seconds left. We are almost there. And then here we go. I really wish I would have had the Teflon sheet to show y'all, because if you would put that Teflon sheet first, like I said, this would actually come out glossy. And then if you didn't like it, you could go back with the parchment and then make it matte. These colors are gorgeous. So check this out. I just made a super cute youth t-shirt. So if you're a mom and you're at home and you're looking to make some fun stuff for the kiddos, dad, uncle, grandpa, whoever you are, here you go. This is going to help you make their t-shirts this year as well as their tote bags, and you are out the door. So I've just made Halloween stuff. We're going to a party and I'm ready. So there you guys have it. I'll drop y'all down one more time just to show you those colors, because the designs of these, they're just gorgeous. Look at those colors. So Siser really did knock it out of the park. I do love their stuff. If you guys are familiar with the Siser Easy Subli, it's very similar. It's just much thinner. This stuff is like, look at this. I mean, you can really move it around. And so you guys will get wrinkles like this. So when you put it through the wash, you get some wrinkles. All you have to do, put it back down. Once you get it out of the wash, make sure you put a piece of parchment to protect it. Go back over it for just a few seconds, and you're just going to be able to smooth everything back out. So whenever you guys wash these things and get it out of the drawer, because if you guys are like me, you're going to let it sit in the dryer for just a little bit. And so it may have a few wrinkles, but there you guys have it. You guys let me know in the comments below, which one did you guys like the best? Was it the kids shirt? So you can put kids, tote, you can put tote, you could put October for October girls. So you guys let me know which one is your favorite. All right, so once again, make sure that you guys are using that hashtag Halloween, because we're going to draw a lucky winner here in just a bit. So let's go and get ready for Q&A. All right, so while we're getting our Q&A, let's go ahead and recap ourselves really fast. So we've got our little youth t-shirt. We've got our tote bag here. And then we have our fun mom shirt. So look at this. We have the whole thing. I've got the mom shirt, I've got the youth t-shirt, and the tote bag. Now, like I said, with that 9.25, sometimes it just seems like, well, that's not enough room with print and cut. But you can see how big this is, an adult t-shirt. You can see on that tote bag, it is big enough. It is good enough. So you can definitely, and then with obviously fussy cut, you could do whatever size you want to, but I am obsessed, but I do highly recommend adding that offset. All right, here we go. October. Okay, here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Does it have to dry for a bit? I have done it with and without. So honestly, you've seen me rub my hand as soon as it came out and it was dry. I tried putting a fan on it to dry it down because there's nothing too dry. It makes zero difference because I had heard that there was something that made a difference with the cut settings. Absolutely not. It dries like instantly when it comes out of here. You can see that I rub my hand all over it, honestly. All right, let's see here. Is DTV printable heat? Yes, it is. So I know it gets very confusing because we have iron-on, we have heat transfer vinyl, we have DTV. They're all the same. So they name them different just to kind of help maybe correspond or help you understand them. But direct DTV, all it stands for is direct to vinyl. So you're able to print directly, but it is heat transfer vinyl at the end of the day. Let's see here. Can you change the color of the offset to match? Yes, you can. So that is the cool thing. So when you go to do that offset, it immediately changes to black and you just got to go up and change your color there. So like I said, I wasn't able to show you guys today because it was not going to work with me. And of course, when you're live, that's what it does. But you can change it to baby blue and you can really customize your colors. So you can go in and really change those colors down to a perfect blue. You don't have to just choose the ones they have. They have that where you could put in your hex code and all of that and really get it to match up with your t-shirt. That was a really good idea, by the way. Let's see here. My problem with the regular printable HTV is that after the wash, the colors bleed. How can I avoid that? So with the regular, yes, this is why Siser created this. That was the problem before. So with other brands, now I have personally tried the StarCraft one, and I do like that one. Any of the other ones, that's why I didn't use it for years because say, for example, my cousin had a birthday party. They made the mom, dad, kiddos t-shirts, and everybody got wet because it was slip and slide and all that stuff. And I noticed as a crafter, I was like, the ink was starting to bleed on their t-shirt. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just was not a fan. I've not had, but that's why Siser created it because that's no longer. They will not fade. They're not going to move. They're not going to budge. What you see now is what you see. So it's going to last a very long time. All right, let's see here. What kind of paper did you use to print on? So in here right now is regular copy paper, but that's not what I printed on. Let me grab another one. What did I do with this stuff before I got started? Hold on 1 second. I'm like, okay, here it is. So I've ordered mine from 143, and this is how they kind of bagged it up for me. So we've got it like this. So whenever I purchase both the DTV sheets as well as those carriers. So you're going to have both of them like this, and you can store them however you want to. So it is actually the direct to vinyl. So it looks like copy paper. I mean, it's so crazy and thin that it feels like copy paper. It's really cool, but it feels like rubber almost. And I almost thought that I needed to print on this green side here, but it's the white side. So don't let it fool you. So the white side is the side you're going to print on. And that's what I'm using is that Siser DTV. Let's see here. Will Crystal Ann tell us the date of her October birthday? So my birthday is October 14th, and maybe we could do something really fun and do some really big giveaways. So I'll talk to the boss and see what we can't do because it's October and we should be celebrating everything, all the things. All right, here we go. Can the carrier sheet be bought anywhere else and buy one at a time? So yes, the carrier sheets are one at a time as well. I'm not sure yet. They have created their own, and I have noticed that it's a little bit of a lighter texture. So, but one thing I did show in an upcoming video, I actually used my carrier sheet off one that I already had, and it did work as well. But the one thing about these, once again, I wish I wouldn't have purchased as many as I did. I purchased one for each one because I ordered like 25 sheets, I think. But I wish I wouldn't have because you can use these over and over again. I probably should have ordered 3. To be realistic, you can use them over and over again. All right, let's see here. Does it hold up after? Yes, it does. It holds up very well. I've not had any issues. So like I said, we've done a few videos, which you guys will be seeing coming very soon. Now I did have, and you guys will see, I actually take on one of my shirts that's coming out very soon. We used a free file, by the way, you guys are going to get access to. I did half of the t-shirt with the Siser, and I did half the t-shirt with a Starcraft because I was having issues with that intricate cut. But guess what that's also going to do? It's going to let us do some wash testing to see how different they are. But yes, so they are holding up. Does it cut well on the silhouette? Now, I have not tried the silhouette. That's what we were going to ask you guys today. I want to see a raise of hands if you want me to make another video doing the print and cut, but this time with the silhouette. Let me know. Raise those hands. Give us a big thumbs up on this video. Give us some hearts. Let us know if you guys are a YouTube, I don't even know what we're going to call you guys. We got to come up with a fun name. So if you guys have joined for that $1.99 and y'all have those fun stickers, give me some of those fun stickers. I want to see those things. So like I said, if y'all want to see that, let me know. All right, let's see here. Or can't you use the bleach method on the shirt to blend the offset? You know, you could definitely do that. That was super smart too. So you could definitely bleach your t-shirt. I would probably recommend doing the bleach first and then adding that on. But yes, that is an amazing idea. I love, love, love it. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? I bought some like the ones you have from Starcraft and it wrinkled. So yes, so I hopefully I showed you guys that a second ago. If it wrinkles, so like say you go through the wash and all the things, because that will happen sometimes with materials like this. All you have to do is put it back down. When you go to iron, put yourself a piece of parchment back on top. You want to protect this at all times. Go back with your iron. You can also do this with a home iron, guys. And so you're just going to go back on and just smooth it back out, and it's going to be like butter. All right, let's see here. Let's see, can you put two together to make it? Yes. That's what video is coming very, very soon. So I actually showed you guys how to make a bigger print and cut. So we made a really big design. And so we've actually cut that in half and created two. But like I said, that's where I had some issues. And then we brought in the next one. But yes, stay tuned. I have a video showing you guys how to make a much, much bigger print and cut. All right, let's see here. Do you need the polyester for the EasyColor or can you use it? No, that's what's amazing about this too is these are all 100% cotton. You can use them on polyester because these also, I didn't even mention, these are super stretchy. So apparently Siser claims that you can really stretch this out. Say the kiddos, they yank it over their head and all of the things. If you're like me, you have your towel on your head and then your shirt, you know. Anyways, if you stretch it out, all you have to do apparently is put it back under the iron and it smooths back out. So I want to test that too. I really want to stretch some out. So like I said, y'all let me know if y'all want to see more of that. But these have a nice stretch. So you can use polyester or 100% cotton. All right, let's see here. How does the glitter look with the DTV? So the glitter, if you mean like the design, let's see here really quick. I think this one had some glitter. Let me drop y'all back down really quick. And speaking of glitter, let me bring this up. So this is how that glitter looks. So hopefully you guys can see, look at those colors. They're gorgeous, but that's how that glitter looks. So look at her eyes. So she's got that glitter on her eyes. So hopefully you guys can really see that pop. It pops so, so nicely. But another thing I forget to tell you guys, a lot of times when it comes to heat transfer vinyl, like printable like this, even if you buy like pattern HTV, a lot of times you cannot layer on top of those. This stuff you can. So say for example, and that's one thing I was showing in the video as well, is say I want to get rid of these bats, but I want to cut them out with glitter vinyl. I can come and add those in as well, or I can line right across this. So I can add another heat transfer vinyl right on top of this and it's going to last as well. But I think that glitter looks gorgeous. All right, let's see here. What are the printer settings? So for the printer, nothing. You don't want to mirror this because you're using it right side up. You're just going to send it straight over to your printer like nothing. And by the way, this is inkjet. So not to confuse you guys, this is definitely inkjet and not sublimation. All right, let's see. Can you use the carrier sheet on top instead of the parchment? Yes. Good. I didn't even think about telling y'all that. If you have this on top, so say, for example, you were grabbing several pieces or you even wanted to use this, you don't need a parchment at that time. And the only reason why I'm using parchment really is just to protect the material and the iron, because this one, like how sublimation releases colors, it doesn't do that. So you're not going to have those colors release off onto the parchment or anything. But yes, you can definitely just use this. All right, let's see here. What else do we have? Can you use the, okay, yes. So can we use any sublimation files? Yes. Any of our sublimation files, any of our PNGs, any of our stickers, you can use with this stuff here. So that's what's really amazing about it is whatever you want to use, that's for sublimation. You can even turn an SVG into a print and cut as well. But yeah, definitely feel free to use all of those fun sublimations. So if you guys have been wanting to grab some of our bundles or designs, but you didn't have a sublimation printer, now you can play with those. Good idea. Love it. Can I still use my sublimation printer and not inkjet? So I need to do a little bit of research because I have heard that you can actually use the sublimation ink with this as well. So stay tuned. I'm going to put a test to it and see. So don't test it on your own. I don't want y'all wasting material. But honestly, the point of this is that you guys are able to actually pull off sublimation, if you will, with your inkjet printer. So let's see here. I think that was our very last question. So are you guys ready? Let's go ahead and do our last giveaway. All right, here we go. So for this last one, this is going to be the entire Halloween bundle. Here we go. So let's go ahead and hit that draw button. Thank you guys all for participating today. Good luck to everybody. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. I always get so excited. I cannot wait. Congratulations, Bob. Congratulations. Thank you so much. I'm not even going to try to butcher your last name. Congratulations, Bob. I am so excited that we had a guy win today. We've always got our ladies, but you know, the guys got to win some stuff too. So congratulations, Bob. Thank you so much for watching here on YouTube. All you simply have to do is reach out to mail@designbundles.net. Let them know that you are the lucky winner of this entire Halloween bundle, and you can start crafting with it today. All right. So thank you guys all so much for participating and hanging out here with us. I hope you guys really enjoy this. If you guys have any further questions, when I get home, I always try to get down in those comments for a little bit. So if you guys have any more questions at all, as soon as this is over, just drop them down in those comments and let me know. Or if you just want to show us some love, definitely do that. If you guys want us to come back here, do some more testing or use the silhouette, definitely make sure you guys are letting us know that because we will definitely make it happen. So once again, here is those fun projects that we have created. I definitely put my thumb of approval on this stuff. Like I said, just a few things you need to tweak here and there, but you were good to go. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please give it a big thumbs up and we'll see you guys on the next one.